Okay, so here we're going to talk about the green blob Atlas clone. You can see it there on my AR-10, and I'm going to do some shooting and let you check out this bipod, and then we'll go inside. I'll take it off the gun and we will discuss the pros and cons of this bipod. Okay, so you've seen shooting footage with the green blob Atlas clone. So let's really talk about it. Let's talk about pros. This bipod is extremely solid. You can hear it snap into place. It doesn't matter which position. It's the I have no idea if I can show you, but on the inside of like the bolt doesn't touch the leg. There's a brass fitting, and then this gear looking piece, the lock piece here, also a brass leg, or I mean a brass shim, which is nice because you're not or I guess you could call it a brass washer, which is nice. That way you're not wearing out your legs or anything. The lock itself has a very positive spring, and the leg locks also very positive spring. And inside of this there's, I believe, 4 ball bearings. Those ball bearings lock into the grooves. I'm basically going to save you a lot of time and say that there's really only one thing that I dislike about this. And this could be true of the real Atlas too. I've got no idea. But when you screw in this nut, you cannot completely take out the rotation of, I don't know if you can see that, but if you're on the ground, you can still get rotation. No matter how tight you make this, you can't completely take it out. Which I kind of hate, but maybe someday I'll work that out where you can really crank this down. That's the only thing about this I don't like. I've always thought about new feet, but these pads, these rubber ends, or maybe they're a hard plastic, I'm not sure. They do all right, but you can, I believe you can swap them out. The American Defense clone QD mount. The Chinese are very renowned for making junk, quick detach anything. They either use cheap materials or they can't grab the concept. And for that reason, I've never thought about trying a LaRue clone or anything. The only clone scope mount that I tried was also a green blob super precision Geisley clone. It's got the screws, you know, it's a clamp, not a quick detach. And after red Loctite the screws, it works fantastic. I just really don't think there's a better, cheaper mount. However, on the American Defense, they have cloned this perfectly. This thing locks on my key mod rail section, and it is extremely tight. Now, granted, you can, just like American Defense, you can adjust the tightness by that nut. But when it locks, I mean, it holds. So, I think one time since I've owned this, I've had to just tighten these a little bit. The screws that hold the legs on, I tightened them one time. They didn't get real loose, but I just wanted something that was extremely tight feeling. I don't know why, I just wanted it tighter than looser, you know. But I took this apart. I took this nut in the mount section off to put some lithium grease in there just to help things out, and cleaned it out. That was about 2 months ago. And but that's it. I haven't really had to do anything to this. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, well, you should be buying, you know, American-made Atlas stuff and, you know, American Defense stuff. And I do have American Defense mount on a hollow sun optic. And I like American Defense. The price is right. But I will never spend the amount of money they want for an Atlas. It's just not going to happen. The most expensive bipod I bought, this is before I had a YouTube channel. I had another AR-10 16-inch precision AR-10 that had a Bushnell XRS on it, and I had a GG&G bipod. That bipod was a great bipod, and yeah, it was $150 or $200, but I was working another job. I was making better money, and that was okay. But even if I was making that same money today, I wouldn't buy a GG&G bipod, and I would not buy an Atlas. The economy's just, I mean, it really falls back to the economy. There are some people out there making the money and they can afford it, and that's great. But, you know, there are more people out there that aren't making good money and they can't afford it. And for someone to come on here and say, you know, you need to stop buying Chinese stuff and buy American, well, you know what? I'm all for it. I would love to buy American, but American companies, they don't seem to understand, I guess, American economy, because there are more people out there that can't afford it than can. So if Atlas wants me to buy one of their bipods, they need to make a $100 or sub $100 bipod, and when they do, I'll consider it. Until then, I would not hesitate again to buy another Atlas clone. As a matter of fact, I cannot remember. Oh yeah, I bought this off eBay through Green Blob. I wasn't sure if I bought it off of AliExpress or not. No, I seen these on eBay, and I bought through Green Blob. They ship out of Texas, and it's just been fantastic. I can't say anything more. If you want a quality bipod and you don't want to pay, I think I only paid 50 or 60 bucks for this. I give it 2 thumbs up. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And anytime I ever need another bipod, I'm just going to get another one. So take my word for it. They're pretty good. Now there's another model. It's got like flat legs with what looks like finger grooves. I haven't tried that one, so I can't tell you if it's good or bad, but I do know these things. Oh, it's got an easy 100 rounds on it. I've got maybe 320 or 350 rounds through the gun. A lot of it's been standing and shooting, and this bipod's been on the gun just folded up. And there was a spot somewhere here on the anodizing where the blast has been. It's kind of right in here. You can't really see it all that well, but the legs have been taking some blast from the muzzle brake, and you can kind of see possibly some discoloring right here, but the anodizing is holding up really great, taking muzzle blast. So you know, you can take it for what it's worth, but chances are extremely high that this bipod's going to run with this gun till I guess for its life, until I decide if if I'm going to keep the gun or not, which I couldn't see myself getting rid of it, but it's a great bipod. So there you go. That's my review. That's as far as I'm concerned, the tell-all end-all on this bipod for me. I mean, you know, your mileage may vary, but this thing for me has been rocking and rolling. So if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget to like and subscribe